Have you seen the recent events involving Caitlin Clark? She's smashing records all over the place, but she could be suspended soon. Yes, it's possible that the WNBA's newest sensation will have to miss a game. And all of this is due to a technical foul that has spectators and players losing their brains. See the video if you will. Observe what she's like how. Such as, are you serious? In addition, Caitlin Clark just broke Tika Penicheiro's record for rookie assists in 1998. Yes, it's a big thing. This is where things become really fascinating, however. Rather of being happy, Clark is now dealing with a probable suspension. Is it really true? This season, she has accrued 5 technical fouls, and 7 is the suspension threshold. Is there an attempt to undermine her? You may be asking yourself, what's the big deal? However, this goes beyond one participant. It concerns the WNBA's future. Are they putting themselves at unnecessary risk by putting the brakes on their greatest star? Everything might alter as a result of this. The league faces a decision, and at the center of it all is Clark. So what specifically happened to cause everyone to have energized? Imagine this. The WNBA's emerging star, Caitlin Clark, just missed a 3-point shot. Angry, she struck the backstop. Not a huge thing, is it? False. The referee smacked and blew the whistle. A technical foul against her. Is it really true? Is the referee really so delicate that Seattle did Strom wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Or was he just losing so badly? So when is it impolite to display a little emotion? Professional sports are this, not a repository. However, the following is what Christy Tsai had to say. Christy's frustration is evident. Maybe she will succeed in getting that foolish referee dismissed. Let's examine the significance of this technical foul, however. Within the WNBA, once a player receives 7 technical fouls in a season, they are suspended for 1 game. Additionally, what do you think? Clark is on his 5th. She is perilously near that line of suspension, and the season isn't even halfway over. This is where things become really fascinating, however. What does Clark think of all this? Utter sophistication. It was just because I'm a competitor, she said. I thought I ought to have been taking more pictures. She thanked him directly. He must be furious right now, particularly if he secretly supports the Seattle Storm. After all, isn't it just what we want from our athletes? Zeal, determination, and a fierce will to improve. But fans aren't going to take it. They're enraged. Gamers are voicing their opinions. Even well-known figures from outside the league are offering their opinions. Barstool Sports founder, Dave Portnoy, is demanding the suspension or firing of the referee. That's how absurd this phone call was. This goes beyond regulations. It has to do with the spirit of the game. Do we suppress our stars? Basketball is a sentimental kind of sports. It all comes down to heart, passion, and giving it your all on the court. If we begin, what are we left with if athletes are punished for displaying that kind of passion? A dinosaur such as Dana salty players like Skylar Diggins or Teresi. Consider it. Should we watch a league match where the participants behave robotically? When they are unable to express annoyance or celebrate a successful shot they fail to notice. That's not how basketball is played. It's not a sport. It's also by no means entertaining. The WNBA faces a decision. Caitlin Clark is an amazing skill that they possess. She's attracting attention, shattering records, and igniting excitement for women's basketball. But rather than praising her, they're only a step away from undermining her for something so trivial. One must ask themselves, is this how the WNBA wants to be perceived? As a penalizing league its stars for being able to compete? Alternatively, do they want to be seen as a league that values enthusiasm, honors skill, and produces a breathtaking show? The WNBA has a serious problem, and it's all due to Caitlin Clark. They must, on the one hand, follow the regulations. Conversely, they have a budding star who is attracting attention and admirers like never before. Thus, so what should the league do? Hold fast to their principles or safeguard their recent success? Let's dissect it. Clark has now received 5 technical fouls. That puts a suspension at only 2 steps away. It gets intriguing, however, since she's not the only one at the top. Diana Taurasi, as well as this season, Natasha Cloud has 6 technicals. What does it indicate to us? It's not just Clark. These fouls are being committed by the league's fiercest, most competitive players. Imagine for a moment that Clark is suspended. Their top scorer would be gone from the Indiana Fever. We're referring to a player that scores 17, 8 points per game on average. Not only is she scoring, but Clark has 8, 3 assists per game, which leads the whole league. Not to be overlooked are her efforts in rebounds and steals. The Fever's hopes of making the playoffs might be lost without Clark. However, this goes beyond one team's prospects of making the playoffs. It concerns the WNBA's overall future. Clark is a phenomenon rather than just a player. She's creating interest in the game among new viewers, creating a stir and inspiring enthusiasm for women's basketball. Should the league ban her due to what kind of message does it convey? Something like this. While some may argue that rules are rules, correct? The problem is that sports leagues often alter their regulations. They adapt to keep fans interested, to safeguard their stars, and to make the game more thrilling. Committed. What therefore makes the WNBA so inflexible? Consider it. What is the desire of the fans? Do they want emotionless robots to play on the court? Or are they more interested in lust, fire, and an intense want to triumph? When a player, such as Clark, displays annoyance after a missed shot, that does not imply disdain for the game. That is a passion for the game. That is the kind of feeling that makes watching sports exciting. However, rather than accepting this, it seems that the WNBA is resisting it. They seem to be terrified by their own celebrity. Do they fear Clark will become the league's main focus? I'll tell you what though, that's not how it works. All boats rise with the tide. The WNBA may succeed as a result of Clark's success. Now for the question of the century, is the WNBA undermining its own prospects? Are they really that so preoccupied with upholding each and every law that they're neglecting the greater picture? That's how it seems at the moment. You believe that a technical foul would reduce Caitlin Clark's speed. Rethink your thoughts. Not only is this celebrity altering the rules, and she's also stirring things up off the court. Following that contentious call, Clark didn't whine or pout. Nope, she used it as fuel for her performance, like a rocket. As you observed, she remarked, "I think he fired me up to continue to play a lot harder," she said. That kind of a mindset that elevates average athletes to legendary status. This is where things become really fascinating, however. It's not only about Clark in this story. It concerns the WNBA's overall future. Consider regarding it. The league is full with amazing talent that is shattering records left and right, gaining a lot of new admirers. And what's their reaction? By giving her a technical slap for displaying a little feeling. It is not logical. This may be the WNBA's wake-up call. Needs severely. They have a decision to make. Do they maintain their positions and continue to enforce these severe guidelines? Or do they change and allow their brilliance to shine? Since, let's face it, fans aren't attentive enter to witness basketball-playing robots. They seek for fervor, intensity, and unadulterated feeling. That's what Clark has to offer, and it's this that's igniting interest in women's basketball. You may be asking yourself, but what about the other players? At this point, it's a very good point. Clark is not only making a difference for herself, but she's also opening doors for upcoming celebrities. Consider a WNBA where athletes are free to show off their true competitiveness without worrying about consequences. Not because becoming upset after missing a shot is disrespectful to the game, but as a demonstration of their concern. That's the type of league that has a lot of potential. And now let's take a moment to discuss the supporters. What kind of basketball do they want to play? Heroes? Are they looking for athletes that are dispassionate, flawless, and never go beyond their line? Or do they want to see actual people with genuine interests and grievances, instead of sacrificing everything on the court? We all know the answer to that, I believe. This Clark effect may be the beginning of a major development. It goes beyond modifying a few guidelines or exculpating a particular participant. It involves completely changing the culture. In the WNBA, the goal is to establish a league that recognizes and honors its stars rather than suppressing them. A league that recognizes that the essence of great sports is passion and competition. We're now on the edge of our seats, curious about what will happen to Caitlin Clark and the Women's Basketball Association. Let's dissect it one last time. We possess this amazing skill, smashing records in every direction. Rather than commemorating, the league has put her in a precarious situation. These technicals, is it really true? The WNBA now has the ball in its court. Which league do they want to play in? One that suppresses ardor or one that allows its stars to shine gleam? It's no longer simply about Clark.